best thing I like about climbing would be finding cool things.
It was a way to get away from the rest of the world.
It's a way of connecting that you don't get from being on the ground.
There was an old belt and spurs in the shop in Saturna where I used to work, and so I just took them home and started practicing.
We're built to climb trees, and I think it's one of the markers of our humanity that we have opposable thumbs that can grab a branch and swing from it.
I climbed a tree as a kid almost every day. There was a huge old-growth maple tree in my parents' backyard that I used to climb all the time, and all the neighborhood kids would come and climb it with me. So, yeah, I felt like a queen and a fairy and a bird in that tree, and I loved it. It was my favorite place to be.
Yeah, I remember climbing as a kid, and actually I remember not really being very good at it. All of us climbed. I can remember being almost paralyzed with fear such that I could hardly move one time and didn't know how I was going to go up or down.
I grew up in a place where there wasn't a whole lot of forest, but the forest that was available to us was something very, that us neighborhood kids found very special.
I'm really high, I can see the birds, and when I'm a little bit lower, I can see the field and deer running around.
It wasn't so much about the view. It was a pretty thick pine tree, and so you didn't have that much of a field of vision out from inside the tree. It was more about actually not being able to be seen by other people. So you had this private place where you could be and nobody else would know that you were in there.
I'm afflicted with a new fear of heights. Actually, it's a late in life thing, so I actually don't go up very high in trees anymore.
When you get older, you just don't... You grow up, you get mature, and it becomes inappropriate for adults to climb trees.
When I was really young, when I was younger, I didn't really want to grow up because then I couldn't climb trees because I would be too big, and so then I couldn't climb them. And then my mom told me that there were jobs where you could climb trees like lumberjacks and stuff.
Well, I climb and top trees or fell them or whatever people need on their lots for safety or for view or whatever aesthetic reasons they might have. Or not like I don't have any love of trees, I really do. I mean, that's why I do that. I'm lucky enough to have a job that I really enjoy because I love the forest and I love trees.
I'd always heard about tree climbing as a form of protest and civil disobedience, and it had always appealed to me. And so I learned how to climb trees that summer in Clayoquot Sound. We decided that we wanted to not just get arrested standing on the road, but that we actually wanted to try and put our bodies in the path of the road building and try and see if we could actually halt the logging, at least for a time, more than just symbolically, actually stop it and shut things down.
You know, a lot of people have a problem with cutting trees. I don't. So, you know, I mean, you can't be thinking about what's the word, the state of the tree itself, which is a living creature, right, just like you and me, while you're cutting it down. That would be very distracting.
Going up and being able to see things that you don't normally see in your everyday walking around on flat ground life is one of the best things about tree climbing, for sure.
I also really loved the experience that week of watching birds fly beneath me, because my tree was over 100 feet tall and it was up the side of a steep valley, so I'd watch eagles soar below my level. And how often do you get the experience of watching birds from above and not below? So it's definitely a phenomenal change in the way you look at the whole ecosystem.
Like I remember many years ago, you know, wandering out in the forest playing a harmonica and feeling the trees respond to the music and all that sort of thing. That was a different time and a different place. That was long before I ever became a faller.
Do you think they respond to you differently now?
Yeah, I'm sure they're probably afraid of me.
When you get down and you're walking around, you see the trees, yeah, you see them more as subjects maybe. They're more, they're not as much part of the background. They're more like active participants in your life maybe. And just, just walking around, passing trees, like even still, I'll look around and see trees and say, oh, I could climb that. I could climb that tree. I should climb that tree later.
Well, you've inspired me. I have to say I haven't thought about it. I think I've told myself the story that, I don't do that anymore, but I do feel inspired to try again.